Okay, I'm back. Thank you for hanging around. Those of you who hunged it around. Here we are. Back in the truck, back on the road again. So here we are back. I've probably done a little. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to this segment. Welcome to this trip. I've got my kick-ass truck, my rusty old Mack R, my rusty old trailer, patterned after the ones from was it Fuel? No, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've used this Duel, D-U-E-L, where the guy got chased by an old truck with an old trailer. The Broderick Crawford was an old movie, and we are running across the states, the United States, with aromatics from, I think we're in Wilmington. We started off, and we're going to Oxnard. We picked short roads, small roads, so we're already, when we set off, we already weren't going to make it, so. Someone has suggested that they should do some COVID-19 run or tweaks to it, so that you would be cargoes of, I don't know, I guess cargoes of disinfectant or masks or ventilators, or I don't know. Your driver not only gets tired but comes down with COVID-19, but I think the consensus was, no, we came here for a break, to relax. We don't need that. So I think the developers or people, they did a similar thing for the landslide, but the landslide wasn't something that's stressing out people across the country, around the world. So I think their take on it was that Yummy restaurant, they would keep it as an escape from reality. Yes, and they can't go to the office anyways. So even the results that they have planned, I think, whatever's the next one, Utah, I don't know, 1.37 out of beta. 1.37 is still in beta, isn't it, for ATS? It hasn't gone in for ETS, so. Idaho, yes, yeah, so. Exactly, everything's been pretty well put on hold, and I think the developers at home, they're probably doing some work, but, sending files back and forth. I know my daughter-in-law, she works for D&D, Department of National Defense here in Canada, and she's working from home, but she's not they have three levels. They have essential workers that actually have to go into the office, and they have working from home with dedicated access to servers and stuff like that. And then they have people like her working from home. You've got your laptop, but please go on, download stuff late at night when the network's quiet, and then work on it the next day, sort of. Yeah, all the developers. Now, the other thing we've noticed, I guess somebody had said, is we're realizing that there are a lot of people still who can't work from home. We're realizing that there's a lot of jobs that we thought could not be done from home. They can. I guess a lot of companies where the employees were pestering their bosses. Can we work from home? No, I want to see you outside my office. I guess you can. So once this calms down and we start gradually trickling back to work, I think there are a number of companies that are going to be changing how they interact, how they work. gonna be a lot of places that shut down too, go bankrupt waiting for this to get over. I don't know. I'm grateful in a way that I'm retired. Because I don't have to worry about losing my job. This is my job, right? My job is writing books and gaming. That's my job. My job was also going up to my local. My game was also going up to my local, socializing with friends, and drinking non-alcoholic beer. I've had to cut back on that part of my job. Okay, so your profession is based on live events. Okay. Yeah, well, pretty hard to do a live event from home. But people are doing different kinds of ways of, release parties for, books and records and stuff online using Zoom and stuff like this. But still, there's a lot of stuff that just can't be done from home. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going to happen in Ottawa. Ottawa has an awful lot of music festivals. Now, I've stopped going to them because they're all blended together. The folk festival, the blues fest, the folk and the folk festival both have a lot of rock music, a lot of bands for the younger people, because that's who buy the tickets. So. Hey, Reed, how you doing, my friend? Glad you popped in. I decided to drive an ATS in. I'll show you where I'm going. We're going from Wilmington to Oxnard eventually. We picked these small roads options, so this has been a long trip. Airtable tried to advertise their services, planning the largest music festival. We're gonna better setup. Oh, good for you. Good for your cycle. Reed, so have you got your at least have you got your high speed working? I think you'd moved into the country. Weren't you living on a mountaintop or something? Or there was an article, and I wish I'd kept it to pass it on. It might have been the Wall Street Journal. It was talking about how a lot of the U.S. are leaving the cities, fleeing the cities, and going to work in little rural cabins or stuff like this, which is okay if you can afford it. But they are learning how to live. Some people are learning how to live more off the grid and how to be more self-sufficient. I know when I went in my grocery store there the other day, there were two empty sections. One section was the several coolers, upright cooler doors that were normally filled with frozen dinners. No frozen dinners at all. And the other gap was flour. There was no flour at all. So I thought it was kind of ironic. It was ironic that people were either avoiding all cooking by using frozen dinners, or getting back to basics and making their own bread. I should add that the bread rack was full, like the, you know, the pre-packaged bread, you know, for the different bakeries. The whole display was packed as normal with bread, so there was no need to make your own bread. You can certainly buy several loaves, which I did, throw them in the freezer, but I think there's people now that are at home, some of them who've tried making bread realized it's really cool and they're going to keep doing it, but a lot of people who are saying, well, this is a lot of work. This sucks. What am I going to do with all this freaking flour now? You just got a long cord? Oh, you just got a long cord. That's right, you need somebody to rewire your house. That's what I did here. I've got the router in the living room and the computer is in my sort of second bedroom. And I just got this big blue Ethernet cable. You know, whatever, a 30-foot cable or whatever the hell it is, that runs from one room, the router, into this room and plugs in. No. So, my friends, hopefully everybody is staying safe and relatively. Ooh, that's a shitty looking road there. You gonna turn? And staying entertained, staying away from people. They keep downgrading the limits. Yeah, I think Ontario, the limit now is no more than 5 people. But I think what they really mean is no more than 0 people. As soon as you assume that everybody you meet is infected and just not showing the symptoms. Yeah, it was 5 in Ontario. I think that was the latest thing that Ford said. But even that is 4 too many. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I have an occasional little cough or sneeze and paranoid. I went out before and I got some cough medicine and some Tylenol for fevers. No thermometer, but it's on order, so that'll be good. Changing lanes here, buddy. Oh, yeah. And I got I went out grocery shopping on Friday, senior shopping from 7 to 8, because I guess they figure seniors are up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why. Look at me, I don't have to work. I get up at 7 a.m. No. Anyway, senior shopping was 7 a.m. to 8 at my local Metro store, and thank you, my friend. And there was like maybe 5 of us in the store. Now, it's not a huge grocery store. Big enough. They had strips of tape at intervals down the aisles. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're so nice today. They had strips of tapes down the aisle, and they had little markers before the cash. And you couldn't bring bags. They used plastic bags and didn't charge you for them. Well, yeah, I mean, I figure I'm going to... They're saying that most people will get it. They'd rather most people didn't get it at the same time, because even here in Ottawa, the system is going to be stressed. Now, one issue we have is the cases are much higher. We're in Ontario. The cases are much higher in Quebec than they are in Ontario. And the city I live in, Ottawa, is on one side of the river is Ottawa, on the other side of the river is Quebec, Gatineau. And people from Gatineau, the Quebec side, often come to Ontario hospitals. So I guess the concern I have, and I'm sure they have here, is if there's a lot more cases in Quebec, they're going to come over to our hospitals and overload our hospitals. So, screening officer test positive. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. What time is it? How much have I got left to do? I got another hour to do. Maybe I go another 10 minutes. I'll go down to 10 minutes, gotta have lunch. Anyone he personally screened and people he works with directly were all exposed. Wow, that is true. I read something about people wearing rubber gloves. And it was very interesting. It said people wearing gloves for protection may be causing more problems than they're solving, because they give you a false sense of security. Someone was saying when she goes into the grocery store, she doesn't have rubber gloves, she has sanitizer, and either she cleans it or the staff has cleaned it, so the cart is clean. And whenever she touches a common point, like the handle on the milk cooler, let me up, buddy? Apparently not. Thank you. Whenever she touches a common point, like the handle on a milk cooler or something like this, where everybody else is touched, then she gets the bag of milk out and then she cleans her hands with hand sanitizer. Whereas if you walk around the grocery store with rubber gloves on, touching, she says you're driving your own little coronavirus bus around the grocery store, just doing your best to spread it from place to place to place, which is interesting. An interesting take in the false security of gloves. They protect you from getting anything. It's not like painting where you just want to keep paint off your hands and who cares. Back to that screening guy, it doesn't necessarily mean and he screened and worked with were all exposed, because I don't know what procedures he was following. I don't know whether he had any contact, like when he screened people. Was there any physical contact? When he was contagious, was he wearing a mask, an N95 mask? Yeah, because if he had an N95 mask on, then the primary transmission is, people say it's airborne, and it's not really airborne, because the medical term for airborne refers to the fact that virus particles travel around, and that's unusual. Usually it's respiratory droplets, and those are stopped by a mask. So if he had a mask on, he would not have been breathing it out. Hopefully he did. Yeah, just like me. I was thinking my local pub has opened up and they're doing curbside service, meaning that they doing takeout. Now that they can also offer beer and wine with their takeout, with the appropriate, so you can pay $35 for the $8 bottle of wine. That's good. That's their markup. That's how they make money. I was tempted, and their curbside means they can open the front windows. So they open one of the windows slightly, and you just show up and you order. When you go to pick it up, Vinny hands it to you out the window. But that is being closer than I'd want to be to somebody, and I have no idea what precautions they're taking inside when they prepare my meal. I know precautions I assume they are taking, I would hope they are taking, but well, for one thing, I've talked to the chef, and while he's a nice guy, he's a firm believer in conspiracy theories. So, I'm not sure how much Arturo is going to follow scientific recommendations. I don't know. Now, if this continues on into the summer, it's going to be a real pain. No going to the beach, no concerts. There's already no, there'll be no baseball games. There's already no basketball, no hockey. There'll be no baseball games. People are not using, I'm going to get gas with that. People are, some people, I was thinking of using Zoom actually and starting to do, coffee with Gramps at 10 o'clock in the morning or something, and set up a Zoom thing. I'm still thinking of that. You think Trump? Being around it just... Now we've got stereo, and it's so much nicer in this game. Yeah, I think it's a 250-gallon tank, so... Straight through here. We're going straight through here. Let's try to keep the light green for me then. I get a ticket? Okay, good. Sometimes the game gives you a ticket if you run the orange, and sometimes it figured, well, you couldn't stop, so we're good. Live from Ottawa, time for Coffee with Gramps. And now, here's Grandpa. Yeah. Could do it. It would add some structure into my life. The requirement to actually at least brush my hair and put on a t-shirt, get my coffee, breakfast, and sit down at 10 o'clock and chat. I never set up Zoom, so I'm not sure how complicated or difficult it is. I guess I could try it. You can do Facebook chats too, which is easier to set up, I think. You just set up a group chat and then everybody clicks on the video thing. Okay. Oh, here's that guy stopped over there. I don't know, but he is. So what have I got? I got another hour, but now I have to have lunch. I have lunch and a shower and get some stuff done, so I'll go a little bit longer. Whoop! Felt like a trailer tipping over there. Maybe 50 would be better than 55. Thought it was a tank. It was a combine. Let me do a little break here just in case I need a marker to split this, so don't go away, folks. If it's the YouTube, there'll be a new segment possibly, but otherwise...